Once upon a time, in a cozy little house on a quiet, leafy street, lived a boy named Leo. Leo was just like any other 10-year-old. He loved video games, climbing trees, and eating pizza. But Leo had a secret, a wonderful, wobbly, and sometimes tricky secret. It was his school backpack. It wasn't just any old backpack made of canvas and zippers. This one was magical. It all started on the first day of school. Leo's grandma had given him the backpack, a bright blue bag with a smiling rocket ship stitched on the front. "This bag will take you on adventures, my dear," she'd said with a wink. Leo thought she just meant school was an adventure. He had no idea how right she was. That afternoon, while doing his homework, Leo grew frustrated with his pen. It kept smudging the ink. Annoyed, he tossed it into his new backpack. A moment later, he heard a tiny, shaky voice from inside the bag. Oh dear, it's so dark in here. And what is that smell? Is that a banana?" Leo froze. He slowly unzipped the bag and peeked inside. There, standing on his textbook, was his pen. It had sprouted to tiny stick figure arms and legs and had the wide, nervous eyes right below the clicker. "Hello," Leo whispered. The pen jumped. "Ah, a giant. Please don't write with me. My ink gets all nervous and blotchy when I'm scared." Leo couldn't believe his eyes. He carefully picked up the pen. "You can talk?" The pen, whose name turned out to be Inky, nodded nervously. "I think so. I wasn't able to a minute ago." Then, poof, here I am. It was the backpack. Leo realized his grandma's gift was truly magical. Anything he put inside came to life. Over the next few weeks, Leo's room became a very lively place. He experimented, and soon he had a whole crew of enchanted friends. There was Barnaby, a thick, old history book who spoke in a deep, wise voice and knew everything about everything. In my day, Barnaby would often begin, "We didn't have these digital screens. We had paper, and we were proud of it." Then there was Ace, Leo's favorite toy spaceship. Ace was incredibly brave and always ready for a mission to the kitchen galaxy for a cookie asteroid. "Engage hyperdrive," he'd shout, zipping around Leo's head. And there was a single sneaker named Skip, who was a stand-up comedian. "Why did the shoe go to the party alone?" Skip would ask. "Because he was a sole practitioner," Leo would groan, but he always laughed. They became the best of friends. Leo would tell them about his day at school, about the bullies who teased him for being quiet, and about the girl he had a crush on. His new friends always listened. Barnaby offered wise advice. Ace planned daring missions to cheer him up, and Skip told terrible jokes until Leo was crying with laughter. For the first time, Leo didn't feel lonely. One rainy Saturday, Leo was feeling down. His best human friend, Sam, had moved away, and the house felt empty. He slumped onto his bed, staring out the window. Ace zoomed over and landed on his shoulder. "Commander Leo, report indicates high levels of atmospheric gloom. Requesting immediate deployment of mission. Cheer up." Inky the pen skittered onto his notebook. "Maybe we could draw something. A magnificent castle, or a dragon." Skip hopped onto the bed. "I've got a new one. What do you call a lazy kangaroo?" "Pouch potato." Leo managed a small smile. "Thanks, guys. I just miss Sam." Barnaby the book rustled his pages. "Friendships, Leo," he said softly, "are like bookmarks. Even when you close the book, they hold your place. A new chapter doesn't mean you forget the old one." Leo thought about that. Barnaby was right. Just because Sam was gone didn't mean their friendship was over, and he had new friends right here in his room. Suddenly, an idea sparked in Leo's mind. A grand adventure. "Guys," he announced, "we're going on a treasure hunt." He drew a map of his backyard, marking a big X under the old oak tree. The treasure, a box of cookies he'd hidden last summer. Excellent, boomed Ace. A reconnaissance mission into the uncharted territory of the great outdoors. I'll navigate, said Barnaby, though he couldn't move on his own. Oh, dear, there might be mud, whimpered Inky. Leo carefully packed his friends into a regular, non-magical tote bag. He couldn't risk putting them back in the blue backpack, or they might turn back into normal objects. The journey across the backyard was an epic quest. They had to cross the desert of the pavement and navigate the jungle of tall grass. Skip nearly got carried away by an ant, shouting, "Unhand me, you six-legged fiend, I'm not your size." When they reached the river of the puddles, Leo had to build a bridge out of a fallen branch. Ace acted as the scout, flying ahead to check for danger, which was mostly just Leo's cat, Ginger. Finally, they reached the old oak tree. Leo dug at the base and pulled out a muddy tin box. Success! They celebrated back in Leo's room, munching on slightly stale cookies. As they ate, Leo looked around at his friends. A nervous pen, a brave spaceship, a wise book, and a silly shoe. They were all so different, but they were his team, his family. You know, Leo said, "I was really sad today, but you guys made it better. You're the best friends a boy could ask for." Barnaby's pages seemed to puff out with pride. "Teamwork, my boy. It's the cornerstone of all great historical events, and friendship," chirped Skip. "It's what holds us together, like shoelaces." That night, as Leo was getting ready for bed, he put his magical blue backpack in its special place on his shelf. He looked at the smiling rocket ship. His grandma was right. It had taken him on an adventure, but not to a faraway place. It had taken him on an adventure of friendship, showing him that companions can be found in the most unexpected places. He learned that it doesn't matter what you look like or what you're made of. A friend is someone who is there for you, who makes you laugh, and who helps you find treasure in your own backyard. As he drifted off to sleep, surrounded by the soft snores of a book and the quiet hum of a toy spaceship, Leo smiled. His world was full of magic, not just because of a backpack, but because it was full of friends. And that was the greatest magic of all. Thanks so much for watching our story today. If you loved Leo's adventure, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a big thumbs up. We have so many more stories to share with you. See you next time.